I have set before you life and death, the blessing and the curse. Choose life then, that you and your descendants may live, by loving the Lord your God, heeding his voice, and holding fast to him. My brothers and sisters in Christ, our Lenten journey is underway, and we recall today in the first reading these words of Moses in his final speech to the people of Israel before he died. As they prepared to go into the promised land, he reminded them of the law of the commandments of God, and that implored them to choose life, in a sense that life and death were set before them based on their own choices. And so, when we hear this, it seems natural. Of course, we would choose life. And yet we know in our experience of sin that so often we don't choose life. But this makes what we hear in today's gospel all the more peculiar, even though they're words we've heard so many times before. As Jesus speaks to his disciples of the cross, the Son of Man must suffer greatly and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests, and the scribes, and be killed, and on the third day be raised. That's scandalous enough. But then he says, if anyone wishes to come after me, he must deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. For whoever wishes to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will save it. So Moses put before the people the decision between choosing life and choosing death. And yet, now Jesus sets a very mysterious teaching in front of us. To choose life, we must choose death. To choose death, we choose life. It doesn't seem to make sense. And yet, as Jesus is telling us, it is actually through our own death that we achieve life. That is the paradox of the cross. By our dying to self, we find life. By clinging to our life, we find certain death. And so, this mystery speaks to the heart of Lent. This time in which we have the opportunity to voluntarily die to ourselves, not including the various sufferings that aren't of our choosing that come our way. The chance through our time of extra prayer, our fasting, our giving up of different things, our almsgiving, our increased charity, these ways to die to ourself, to open up to the full life of God, to replace our lowly self with something better, to make room for God to make his home in us, that we may know life in a greater way than we could ever know it, left to our own devices. And so, Ash Wednesday is behind us. As you can see at the time I'm recording this, it's Ash Wednesday. I still have my nice little Catholic smudge on my forehead. But Ash Wednesday is not just today. Those ashes are a sign, a reminder that we are dust, and to dust we will return. We are a people set to die, and yet, if we die to self, we need not die, but can find true life in Jesus and in his cross. And so, may we walk this Lenten journey well, with intentionality, that we may come to greater love. May God bless you all.